A season finished up. How are you feeling about it?
Great. I'm happy we got through it. Like for 5 years, like I want a series, and you never think it's gonna hit number one. I mean, we soared straight to the top, and to be number one consistently, to be in the top 5 consistently, that's great. And I'm glad we got through the first year.
Did you ever wonder what happened to Malcolm-Jamal Warner after The Cosby Show ended? Did he fade away? Or did Hollywood quietly push him to the side? Or maybe, just maybe, he chose to disappear on his own terms. Welcome to Review Daddy, the place where the mystery behind every trend, icon, and forgotten story is decoded. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you. You know how we do it here. No fluff, just the real story. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button. You won't believe the truths we uncover here. In the mid-'80s, Malcolm-Jamal Warner was everywhere. As Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, he was America's most beloved TV son. The show wasn't just big, it was a cultural earthquake. At its peak, it pulled in the 30 million weekly viewers, making it one of the most successful sitcoms in American history. And Warner? He was nominated for an Emmy at just 16 years old. But what happened after the lights went off on The Cosby Show?
Good to me as a person, and his mom...
One word, typecasting. Malcolm-Jamal Warner himself once said, being Theo was both a blessing and a curse. For nearly a decade, he was America's favorite teenage son, Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. The role made him a household name. But when the show ended in 1992, that same fame became a wall. Casting directors didn't see a grown-up Malcolm. They only saw Theo, the quirky, lovable teen in colorful sweaters. Not a serious actor, not a poet, not a deep thinker. Just the Huxtable boy. This isn't a new story in Hollywood, especially for young black male actors. Take Jaleel White, forever remembered as Steve Urkel, or Alfonso Ribeiro, who played Carlton Banks. Once you're known for a specific type of role, especially a comedic or youthful one, it becomes incredibly hard to break out. Warner tried. He studied acting, took theater roles, and even went into music and spoken word poetry. But television and film kept him boxed in. He was seen as too Theo for serious roles and too serious for comedy. That gap left him overlooked for decades, not because he lacked talent, but because the industry lacked imagination. Let's address the elephant in the room, Bill Cosby. In the late 2000s and early 2010, Cosby's reputation began to crumble under the weight of sexual assault allegations. By the time he was sentenced in 2018, The Cosby Show reruns were pulled from major networks. And even though Malcolm-Jamal Warner had nothing to do with the scandal, his connection to the show became a liability. He publicly said, "It's painful to watch the legacy of the show collapse under something we had no control over." That legacy, and his career, took a hit. He focused on music and poetry. Most people don't know this. Warner is a Grammy-winning spoken word artist. In 2015, he won Best Traditional R&B Performance for his collaboration on Jesus Children with Robert Glasper and Lala Hathaway. Instead of chasing Hollywood fame, he poured himself into music, poetry, and live performance. He even has his own band, Miles Long, a jazz-funk fusion group that tours underground venues. Malcolm-Jamal Warner didn't just act. He quietly built a career behind the camera too. While most people remember him as Theo Huxtable, the charming son on The Cosby Show, few know that Warner was already directing episodes of the show while still in his 20s. That early leap into directing wasn't just a side gig, it became a serious passion. After The Cosby Show, Warner continued this path by directing episodes of other series like Malcolm and Eddie, where he also starred alongside Eddie Griffin. The sitcom ran from 1996 to 2000, and Warner took creative control behind the scenes for several episodes. His eye for storytelling and his experience growing up on set gave him a unique edge. He understood both the actor's and the director's role. He didn't stop there. In the 2010s, he also directed episodes of BET's Read Between the Lines, where he starred alongside Tracee Ellis Ross. Directing gave Warner the kind of career stability many actors only dream of. It allowed him to stay in the industry on his own terms, even if it meant stepping away from the red carpet and public eye. Behind the camera, Warner found longevity and purpose. Unlike many former child stars who jump at every acting opportunity to stay relevant, Malcolm-Jamal Warner took a very different path. He made a conscious decision early on to prioritize integrity and dignity over fame and fast money. After The Cosby Show ended, Warner received numerous offers, many of them playing into harmful stereotypes, especially roles that cast black men in negative, one-dimensional lights. But Warner refused to be boxed in. In a 2018 interview with The Undefeated, he said, "If I can't look myself in the mirror after doing a role, then it's not worth the paycheck." That one quote explains his entire career strategy. Instead of chasing the Hollywood spotlight, Warner focused on doing work he believed in. Whether it was small indie films, guest appearances in thoughtful TV dramas like Suits and The People v. O.J. Simpson, or even voice work in music. He also spent time building a solid career as a spoken word artist and musician, eventually winning a Grammy Award in 2015 for Best Traditional R&B Performance alongside Robert Glasper and Lala Hathaway. Sure, he may not have stayed in the mainstream spotlight, but Warner carved out a space for himself that reflects his values, not Hollywood's. And that quiet dignity? It's what made him more than just Theo Huxtable. In recent years, he's made a quiet but powerful comeback.
Dad, can I have an advance on my allowance?
Son, you're already backed up to your 50.
He starred in Read Between the Lines with Tracee Ellis Ross, The Resident as Dr. A.J. Austin, and even guest starred in Suits and American Horror Story. His performances have been praised for their maturity and emotional depth, far from the teenage Theo we once knew. Another reason people believe Malcolm-Jamal Warner disappeared after The Cosby Show is that he made a very deliberate choice to keep his personal life completely private. Unlike many celebrities who live loudly online, Warner took the opposite path. He got married in secret, never shared his wife's name publicly, and later became a father to a daughter. Yet he rarely, if ever, posts photos or details about them on social media. In a time when Hollywood thrives on oversharing, where fame is often tied to how visible your life is, Warner chose peace over publicity. There were no scandals, no tabloid blowups, and no messy breakups in the public eye. That quiet life made some fans think he vanished, when in reality, he was simply living life on his own terms, off camera and happily out of the chaos of the spotlight. Another reason people believe Malcolm-Jamal Warner disappeared after The Cosby Show is that he made a very deliberate choice to keep his personal life completely private. Unlike many celebrities who live loudly online, Warner took the opposite path. He got married in secret, never shared his wife's name publicly, and later became a father to a daughter. Yet he rarely, if ever, posts photos or details about them on social media. In a time when Hollywood thrives on oversharing, where fame is often tied to how visible your life is, Warner chose peace over publicity. There were no scandals, no tabloid blowups, and no messy breakups in the public eye. That quiet life made some fans think he vanished, when in reality, he was simply living life on his own terms, off camera and happily out of the chaos of the spotlight. Malcolm has become a low-key mental health advocate. He often speaks about the pressure of fame, the identity crisis after child stardom, and the importance of black male vulnerability. He's part of a growing wave of black artists pushing for emotional wellness in an industry that often ignores it. So, did Malcolm-Jamal Warner disappear? Or did he simply grow up, evolve, and protect his peace? Sadly, Malcolm passed away at the age of 54 after drowning during a family vacation in Costa Rica, pulled into a strong ocean current where help couldn't save him. Yet though he's gone, his legacy lives on. Warner's final years were full of creativity and impact. He toured as a bassist and frontman of jazz funk band Miles Long and hosted the podcast Not All Hood, exploring black identity and culture. He earned a Grammy in 2015 for his performance on Jesus Children and a 2023 spoken word nomination for Hiding in Plain View. He also acted in hits like The Resident, Alert, Missing Persons Unit, and many more. Though Theo Huxtable was his first love to many fans, Warner redefined himself across music, activism, directing, and poetry. He inspired those who knew him, and continues to inspire new fans who knew him only by his true evolved self. By the way, if you want to protect your peace and privacy online, just like Malcolm protected his in Hollywood, try NORDVPN. Whether you're streaming old episodes of The Cosby Show from another region or just keeping your browsing secure, NORDVPN has your back. Super fast, super safe, and super easy to use. Hit the link in our description box to get a huge discount plus a bonus month free exclusively for Review Daddy subscribers. And this is Review Daddy, where we uncover the untold stories behind every face you thought you knew. Like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, which 80s or 90s star should we decode next? Until next time, stay curious and watch the next video now.